Good morning, good morning, good morning everyone. This is a video from Inner Space in Romford on behalf of the Brahmakumaris World Spiritual University, and we're hoping to open the subject up of peace through to happiness, through to bliss. Unadulterated bliss is something that we're all capable of, even though the world is not particularly a blissful place. We can make a blissful place inside. As long as we have the right protection, then it's almost like our birthright as a spiritual being to have peace and happiness, and even the highest state, which is called bliss. And peace is basically when we're removing ourselves from the external forces. So there are external forces that go on, whether they be bad company that we keep, whether they be my own bad company where I'm very careless about looking after my own state of mind and get it too much involved in materialistic endeavours and don't actually charge my batteries but discharge my batteries, because all the stuff of the outside world, all the dragging out the past, all the keep going over old arguments with others, all leads to a state of being discharged. And so we're recharging our batteries now, so we're creating a shift, as it were, a shift from the external to the internal. And basically you've got the 5 sense organs of the body, which is 4 in the face: eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and also the touch. So when we're using these 5 sense organs to manifest peace into the world, rather than try to take peace from the world, because one moment there's peace and the next moment there's not peace. And so we're going towards a inner space in which we go inside behind the sense organs and touching the peace that's inside, all the thoughts that are going past on the screen of your mind. We learn to observe them rather than get caught up in them. So we're basically stepping back into a state of peace and harmony. Everyone wants peace. Even though people fight wars, they still want to sit on the veranda of their bungalows and cottages and sip a nice cold drink in the afternoon sun and have a peaceful time with their family, even though they may have been fighting for the last 2 years in a foreign country. And all these wars that take place is because basically their peace is threatened. And actually when you're in touch with your own peace doesn't feel threatened anymore, because one's inside and the other one's outside. That means that one is the peace that is superficial, the peace of the external, when the sense organs are caught in the external, whereas the true peace, the natural state of peace, is when you're within and you're the observer to the outside world. So there's no great secrets. It's obviously a secret when you don't know it, but when you've actually been told about that, there's no secret to true peace. It's just that basically you can't get it outside. It manifests from inside to out, not outside to in. And so you're going inside behind where the actual true self is, the spirit, the soul. Doesn't matter what word you use, as long as you know that you're not the physical body, but you're the user of the physical body. So the five elements of matter are earth, water, fire, oxygen and ether. None of them have the ability to think and to judge. This is where we communicate from here, within the centre of the forehead. So I'm not the forehead, I'm not the eyes, I'm using the eyes. The eyes are my windows, and the ears are something I listen through. So in that state of awareness, where I'm aware of myself as the being within the human form, I've now got control back again. So I'm not trying to control a person, not trying to change a person, not trying to give them anything, because there's a problem with giving someone peace and happiness if we haven't got it ourselves. That means we'll become dependent on their peace and that happiness, and then even there can be a sense of loathing later on when we get caught up in how happy I'm making them and how happy they're not. So I can only make myself happy, I can only make myself peaceful, I can only make myself loving. I can't acquire that commodity from anyone else. If I tried to do so, then my mind would become dependent, it would become attached on the person that I'm trying to acquire that commodity from, and then that gives them control over my own peaceful state of being. So we're creating a shift inside and touching, going into our own inner space of peace, and the spirit, the light, the self, the being is light, not physical light, but spiritual light, eternal being of light, eternal being of peace. And in that experience, you start to feel a manifestation of peace that you're now in touch with, and you can start to manifest that as if white light is flowing throughout your physical body. There are 3 savings accounts: thoughts, words and actions. And when you're manifesting your peace into your thoughts, you're not trying to get peace of mind, because you're creating peace of mind. So this is the secret, if you like, the shift that takes place is one where you're secreting this peace. And I think this is a better understanding of what a secret is. It's like a secretion where you're secreting this peace and this harmony into the atmosphere through your physical body. So one is the user, the self, and the body is the thing that's being used. The body's time and energy will run out. The soul's, it doesn't run out. It can change from positive to negative, but the energy is always there. It's always available for you to take back from the negative to the positive. So instead of having dark thoughts, we have light thoughts. We start to view the world like a drama, as if there's benefit in everything that happens because it's already been written. It's just a drama that's playing out. Nothing to get too excited or incite others about. Don't make these things of great relevance, because your wealth is coming from inside to outside. So you're manifesting your goodness, your warmth, your love, your kindness, your beauty and your brilliance, which are all a manifestation of your own virtues from inside to outside. And as you move, as you talk, as you walk, the other savings accounts start to become activated. So you start to manifest these things. It's an art, there's no doubt about it. It's an art of bringing this beauty from somewhere that was hidden from us, and being in touch with that, and then bringing it into the domain of the matter, the material world. And so this is the key to bringing happiness into the life, when that light of the self is coming into your words and actions, when you're looking after yourself better, and you keep your words short, sweet, soft, so that you're always in touch, always in control. So if someone's angry in front of you, that's their anger that they're trying to give to you, and allow them to keep it, allow them to have their own self-realization. If you take it, they won't have their own self-realization. That means if you get angry as they are angry, then you're taking their anger and adding it to your own. So neither parties are able to have self-realization that they are a beautiful being, because by taking someone's anger and that touches your own anger, it masks the beauty of who and what we are. So while you're moving, walking, talking, be essenceful. Don't get caught up in too many dramas. Don't get caught up in too many people's emotions, because that's their journey. They can come to me with their emotions, but their emotions mustn't touch my emotions, so that I've got to observe their part. So I'm willing to help anyone as long as they're willing to help themselves, but ultimately the only one that can actually lead them to a state of peace, happiness and even bliss is themselves. I can't walk that path for anyone else other than myself. And so when you have this peace, you start to withdraw from your sense organs even more, because you're enjoying it more, and you start to go on a journey. A journey is to a place we call nirvana in meditation. You wouldn't be able to do that while you're driving a car, driving a train, but you would definitely be able to do it when you're not very active. You'll be able to withdraw from the sense organs of the body, take your mind away from the body, forget the gender of the body, forget your bodily relationships for a time, forget your wealth, forget your possessions, be stripped back completely naked to the true eye of the eternal shining star of light. Take yourself away from the pull of any material form and go to home, your home, nirvana, which is the place where the soul originally came from. It's not worth going into these things too much, because people get into belief systems too much, where they have to believe something to be true. They say seeing is believing, and really you can imagine something that's about someone else that's quite negative and might not be true, but still make it your reality. So these are all false realities we can create. We don't want to get caught up too much in belief systems. We want to use the power of imagery, where you're envisioning this home of gold and red light far beyond the cosmos. And you're projecting yourself into that space, that place, that world of light, and you're coming into contact with the what we call the Paramatma, which is the Supreme Soul, who is the daddy, the father of all souls. Just like you have a physical father, you've also got a spiritual father, and that spiritual father is the embodiment of bliss. And so when you project yourself into the home of this golden red dimension of light and hold on to this being of love, this being of light, and hold on as if like a child that is running to its parents for that security and that warmth and that love. I remember many happy memories from my childhood when it was freezing cold, and my father, the physical one down here, had a very warm coat, and he would wrap me in this coat. We would be standing at the bus stop waiting for a bus, and I would be wrapped in this coat of his. Another time I was standing on his feet while we were dancing around at some function. I was a child. He was my protector, if you like, and I was standing on his feet, and it made me feel like I was dancing. So that's similar to the relationship with the Supreme Being, a very loving, warm ocean of love, ocean of peace, the light at the end of the tunnel that you must visit, but you must visit as a child. Again, stripped away from the roles we play, stripped away from all the politics and the I'm right, you're wrong, and you're to blame, not me, all that culture, all the religious arguments that take place, all the financial arguments that take place. All this does really is make us believe even more that it's a peaceless world, and we can't be peaceful in a peaceless world. And if you're a peaceful being, you can be in a peaceless world and it won't touch you. So this is the way to, peace, know yourself, go inside, touch your inner core of your own peace that's inside. Behind the sense organs, your true nature is peace. The happiness comes from using your 3 savings accounts of thoughts, words and deeds, manifesting your peace into the matter, living from inside to out. If you get too caught up in the actions, then you're discharging. If you're not caught up in the actions and observing what you're doing, watching from a distance, like the puppeteer pulling the strings, then you're recharging, and you're recharging your batteries of happiness. Bliss can only come from a relationship with the Source of Bliss. God, the Supreme Soul, the one we call Baba, Shiv Baba, Shiva the benefactor, Baba the Father. And that relationship leads to a deeper and deeper state of bliss, and you can take however much of that you like. So we'll finish off with a meditation commentary on this very subject. Om Shanti. I take my mind away from the world outside inwards, behind the senses of the body. I become aware of myself as a very subtle, infinitesimal point of light who resides at the centre of the forehead. I use my breath to breathe in peace. I use my breath to let go of all the vestiges of peacelessness and sorrow that I've been collecting over a long, long period of time. And as I breathe in, I let go of all the past grudges, never to feel shame or guilt ever again, because from here on out I'm looking after myself. I'm absorbing the peace of my own being. I'm absorbing the goodness and the fortune in my life, which is manifested from the goodness of my own past actions. I take myself away. I use my imagery powers to focus on a home of light, a dimension that I pull very close. I imagine I am floating in a sea of golden red light. I imagine that I am in the company of the one that has been looking out for me, the one that knows me better than I know myself. I sit, I float, and I glide into his lap of love, into his lap of divinity, into his lap of protection. I am coloured by the company I keep, and so I hold his company in my eyes and fly around my day. Om Shanti.